I worked with a client that was a senior living facility in a very populated metropolitan area who had gone through a number of leadership changes in the past couple of years. And so when the current management team came on board, they faced a situation that was difficult with some of the residents. There was suspicion, there was a basic lack of trust amongst management for this organization. One of the things that the new management team and the CEO realized quite quickly was that the financial situation of this organization was such that they needed to declare bankruptcy in order to restructure the financial agreements and get themselves out of the rut. In doing so, they were quite concerned how the term bankruptcy would go over with their residents, senior citizens. So our goal in working with the management team and the CEO was to create a situation which first built some trust amongst residents and other stakeholders, and then second, conveyed the facts about the bankruptcy filing and the new financial structure going forward in a way that would not cause residents to flee in droves and would continue the stability of maintaining the majority occupancy of this particular center. So we sat down and I worked with the CEO to map out the universe of folks that mattered in this regard. Not just the residents, but their families, the media, certainly the investors and the financial community, and then to some degree as well, other governmental organizations that may or may not play a role in the bankruptcy filing going forward. But certainly first and foremost were the residents and their families. It was interesting because we found that their families were a key constituency who hadn't been communicated with prior to this particular engagement. There was some hesitation at first, but the fact that the CEO was willing to lay everything on the line and put herself in a little bit of a vulnerable position helped the residents and the stakeholders build their trust in her because they saw that she was really trying to do the right thing and be open and forthright about everything that was going on with them and would be available to be communicating with them about every step in the process along the way. Personally, with a lot of my clients, the first thing folks are often concerned about is let's get the press release right and let's reach out to our consumers potentially, and then the investors, of course, as well. But oftentimes when you dig a little deeper, there are other stakeholder groups out there that can be tremendously influential in helping build and foster the trust that you have with your core constituencies. Those are relationships that companies and institutions should be building, of course, before the crisis hits, because you want to have those relationships in place and those trusted advisors that can speak on your behalf before you need them. For the management company of this organization, I think they came through the experience learning 3 or 4 really valuable lessons. First of those is that communication with their residents and other stakeholder groups that is tailored to the specific group is imperative for building trust and growing that trust. They couldn't just come in and have a blanket one-size-fits-all approach to communications in general, which was what previous leadership had done. The second thing that they learned was that being tremendously transparent, conveying facts, and being open and honest was a way that was very important for them to build and gain trust with their stakeholder groups. The third thing they learned was that they needed a communication strategy that wasn't just focused on the bankruptcy filing itself and the immediate days there surrounding that event, but that a communication strategy that continued months and weeks and months into the future to continually engage with their stakeholder groups. They had to be engaged routinely to build on that trust, to be visible, to be available, and to be seen as a trusted management team.